Life Source Revival Center is a church that firmly believes in spreading the word of the Lord. They strive to spread the word to the community nationally and even around the world. What are they doing to strengthen our community and unite us all? We'll find out in the next 30 minutes. I'm Christy Breslin, and this is Hartford Magazine. Our first interview today, Pastor Lewis Lee, who is the founder of the LS Revival Center. Pastor Lee, thanks for being with us today. We are so happy to be able to come out and see what you do.
Thank you. We look forward to having the time together.
Pastor Lee, how did the church LS Revival Center actually come about?
LS Revival Center came about. I was full-time staff, associate pastor of a very large church. And for the last couple of years that I was there, I began to become very frustrated. There was something that God was dealing with me about creating a ministry. It was not something I wanted to do. Again, being the associate pastor, it was definitely a comfortable place, a place of security. However, I had to answer the call, and that's how LS Revival Center started.
What does LSRC stand for?
It's simply a play on words. When you look at LSRC, it's Life Source Revival Center. And when you say it backwards, at the center of revival is the source of life, which means you must live in a constant state of revival to enjoy the life and the abundant life that God talks about that we should have.
Where are you located? Tell me about the facility that you're in now.
We're located 9627 Philadelphia Road, Suite 190. It's directly across from King Courts Townhomes in the Business Enterprise. 190 is on the corner unit of the first building. Look for us. We'll definitely have signages out on Sundays and Wednesdays that you make sure that you see us. We want you to be with us.
I'm really impressed with the facility, so tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, we're really blessed, ministry that really started out, you'll hear a little bit more, I believe, from my wife later, but we started out about 6 years ago in a home. We went to a lodge that was not a hall that we rented, was not in the best shape. And then, the Lord laid on my heart that if we take care of this rental property, fix it up. I mean, it was run down. Fix it up, take care of it, invest some money in it, that He would do something great for us. And about 6 months after that, He did. It was an opportunity. We came here with another ministry. And then since then, that ministry has left, and we're here all on our own. So it definitely was God.
You obviously do a great job. You have a lot of fans here. How long have you been in the ministry?
I'm coming into about 20 years of ministry experience. I was blessed again to be associate pastor for years at a very large church, and it was really there. A lot of core values were developed, but even when I was a kid, I knew I was called to this. For example, if I could tell you, I first heard of Dr. Martin Luther King, and I saw one of his famous speech, "I Have a Dream." And I would get in front of my mirror with my comb, and I would say, "I have a dream today." I mean, I must have preached that 20 times coming up as a kid. So I believe God called me at a very young age.
What would you say is the core value of your ministry?
Oh, wow. The core of our ministry is definitely, it's all about people. There's no ministry without people. It's two things. When you look in the Old Testament, there's over 600 laws, statutes, and commandments broken down into the 10 commandments. And when you break down the 10 commandments, it's really based down two areas, vertical and horizontal. And so in the New Testament, it says this, it breaks it down to two commandments: to love the Lord thy God with all thy soul and all the mind, to love. And the second is unto it, where we are to love our neighbor as ourselves. So one of the things that you're going to find here, that we're passionate for God. That's the vertical. And then the horizontal, that we have compassion for humanity.
On your marketing materials, it says, "One visit will change you for a life." What does that mean?
It's more than just a cliche. We believe that here. Hopefully when you talk with some of our members, that will be echoed. But we really believe one visit will definitely change you for a life. We have had testimonies. We got recorded, documented testimonies of how people's lives have been changed, transformed. Not by me, not by the leadership, not by the elders, but by the power of God. We believe that if we can get the presence of God and the love of God, that lives will truly be changed.
What would you want people to walk away with today after they see this interview?
Well, I want them to walk away with a couple things. Number one is that first, it's a fun place. It's a place where you're going to enjoy people. We love people here. We want to make sure that that's conveyed. Number two, that you're going to have an experience with the Holy Spirit. I believe we will not change unless we have a personal relationship with God. I can look back in my life. I haven't always been saved. I haven't always been a preacher. I was a football player. I thought I was going to play for the Ravens. But you know, being in a relationship and being in a place where the Spirit of God is moving is what I want to convey most. And not only that, you're going to find somebody that looks like you. We are a multicultural, diverse church, and not only in race, but also in age. So you're going to find somebody that looks like you, dressed like you, have various backgrounds, maybe just like you.
From what I'm hearing, fellowship is a huge part of the ministry. Elaborate a little bit on that.
Oh yeah, we love the fellowship. In fact, the fellowship was so important that he talks about that in Acts chapter 4, and where we ought to fellowship, break bread together. So we do some interesting games. I said that I was a football player, so we had an opportunity this year to go down to the Ravens Stadium and actually got to go on the sidelines and see Steve Smith Sr. before his final year of playing for the Ravens, and Terrell Suggs and a couple of the other guys. And we also go to the Oriole games. Part of our outreach, part of our core, reaching out to the less fortunate, we take a group of homeless, 8 to 10 every year, down to the Oriole Stadium. So we do that. Our church comes out. It's a big fun thing. And then our Christmas party. I wish you guys could come sometimes. They have so much fun. I wanted to put up a photo, but my wife says no. We have them wrapped up in Christmas gifts and ugly Christmas shirts, but it's a fun time. We want the people to understand that we're serious about going after God, but we also are people that can be touched just like you, and we love to have fun.
You are very active in our community, done a lot of exciting things. Let's talk about some of the mission trips.
Yes, a couple things I want our viewers to hear is that Tiny Island, which is a great tourist island called Dominica, they had some casualties down there. There was a flood that really wiped out part of the island. A good friend of mine who is a pastor that is from the island, we connected, networked with other pastors in the community, and we were blessed, fortunate enough, with the help of our friends and partners, to go out and purchase water, food, and send down truckloads for. But I'm really thrilled about the fact that our connection with a local business, we were able to give 6 generators. So that is phenomenal that they're still using those generators today in a remote place that we take for granted.
How can we learn more about what you do, upcoming events, and how to get involved?
Please go to our website, www.lsrevivalcenter.com. There's a lot of information there. We hope that it's easy for you to navigate through. Also, you can call us directly. We are personable. We want to be touched. We want to talk to you. Call us, 443-432-5772.
Pastor Lee, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing what we can expect in the near future.
Thank you, Christy. We really appreciate having you today.
Well, coming up next, we're going to speak to the co-pastor and find out how her various experiences have helped to strengthen the ministry. Stay with us. And we are now joined with our very dedicated co-pastor, Zenaida Lee. Hi, thanks for being with us.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Zenaida, tell us about your extensive training and your experience in ministry.
Okay, well, I started off, I have a master's degree in clinical psychology from Loyola University. So for years, I actually was a therapist with Johns Hopkins, and I worked with children, adolescents, and their families first. So before I even started going to church, that's what I did for years. So while I was doing that, that's when I eventually did start going to church, and I started volunteering in different ministries and things like that. So I actually learned how to work with people from many ages and different backgrounds before I even started coming to church. But then through working in different ministries and things like that, I started learning how to put those different things together with the spiritual side of things. So through that, I started volunteering in like the children's ministry and doing different types of spiritual guidance with, actually with my husband as a mentor. Back then, he wasn't my husband, we were just friends, but I started doing things with him and other ministers in the church. And then I actually eventually started working as on staff in the administrative offices. And through that, I was able to observe ministry from different vantage points and learn how to build a ministry from that angle. And then I became married and we began to have children. And through that, I was able to learn how to run a ministry and grow a ministry from that vantage point, and was able to eventually grow into the role of learning how to build a full-fledged ministry from there.
How has all of this experience helped you in leading a church?
Well, I think just learning how to work with people in general through my training, that just learning how to be a people person and just learning how to listen to people and to meet them where they are. That just kind of helps you to be a better leader no matter what. You can't just think you know everything. I think that's just the best way to approach at everything. You just have to learn how to listen to who you're talking to, see where they are, how you can help them, and just walk alongside them. I think that's the best way to lead anything in any ministry, in any area of life. Just to walk alongside them, see how you can best help them, how best they can help you, because there are times where I don't know what I'm doing, so I need them to help me as well. So we just work with each other, and that's just how best to lead in the ministry.
Now tell us about your children. How do you get them involved with the LS Revival Center?
I believe our children, it's important for our children to understand the heartbeat of our ministry, and the heartbeat of our ministry is our outreach, and as well as being involved in every aspect of the ministry. So they're involved in the children's ministry, and they participate in our praise and worship, and when our children do plays and our children sing songs through praise and worship, they're also involved in our multimedia, and they organize and they participate with doing the screens and the computers and behind the scenes type things. They also participate in our outreach, and they feed our homeless, and they hand out meals, but they don't just hand out meals. We also encourage them to sit with the homeless and talk with them, as we do as adults as well. So we just feel like just as we walk alongside everyone in our ministry, and we believe that it's not something that we just do. We believe it is something that all of us as adults and children need to participate in as a member of LS Revival Center.
Zenaida, you wear a lot of different hats. So tell me, what is your main position here at LS Revival Center?
Actually, my main role is to oversee the administrative process at the Revival Center. So to oversee the entire ministry and to make sure we try to run smoothly, and to oversee the pastoral needs for Pastor Lee. But more specifically, I do oversee the multimedia, so anything that involves the computers and the website and things like that, the women's ministry and the children's ministry. My hands are mainly on those things, but I do wear many hats. So we are a small ministry, so Pastor Lee and I are very hands-on, but we do try to make sure that we have a good core. So we have many people helping us with things, but like I said, we're a small ministry, so we do try to work alongside everyone in the ministry.
Can you talk about some of your major accomplishments and where you think the center is heading in the future?
Well, I think one of the biggest accomplishments is we started as a small ministry in our home. We started as a small prayer group with just probably about 5 or 7 of us at our home, and then we started to grow. So we said, okay, well, maybe it's time to branch out, and we leased a little hall where we started on Sunday mornings. We literally put equipment into our minivan and went to a hall, and we had to set up and break everything down every Sunday morning, and we just had a great time. And then it was maybe 12 or 15 of us, and we were really excited to do that. And then we started to grow, and the Lord opened up a door for us to be able to share a building with another ministry. And again, we were growing, and then we had the opportunity to have a building and stand on our own, and we were very, very excited to be able to do that. But I think most importantly, the heartbeat of the Revival Center is always our outreach. So when we first started, we were able to, once a season, go out to feed the homeless and share a meal with them and feed them and give out some necessities and hygiene products. We are most proud of the fact that now, on a monthly basis, we're able to give them a hot meal, and every month make sure that they have the hygiene products that are necessary for them. And I think in the future, we're looking to be able to do that more than just once a month.
Zenaida, thank you so much for being with us, and it sounds like you have such a dedicated congregation here.
Thank you.
Now, what are the core values of the congregation, and what can we expect to see from them in the future? That's straight ahead.
Only one TV station keeps it local, Harford Cable Network. We produce programming important to Harford County, both on location and in our studio. Look for us on social media. Watch our shows anytime on VOD.
I love sending prospective students to their video-on-demand site to watch our concerts. It's so convenient.
Our award-winning network is devoted to serving the community and supporting local organizations.
Harford Cable Network promotes nonprofits in our community by producing professional public service announcements that get results.
We build relationships that last.
Our partnership with HCN to produce Kaleidoscope is important to helping us promote the arts.
How can we support your cause?
Harford County is watching Harford Cable Network. Every time our video airs, we receive an overwhelming response. Thanks, HCN, for supporting the nonprofit community.
Elder Troy Richards has been at the LS Revival Center for 6 years, and he is here to tell us about what he does and why he continues to serve. Hello.
Hello.
Can you explain to us what the meaning of an elder is?
An elder is a biblical position as a senior person in the church that the pastor has appointed you to oversee the congregation and to pray for the congregation and keep them in prayer, and also assist the pastor in the duties of the church.
When did Pastor Lee first appoint you?
Oh, that's been probably 3 years ago at least.
We know that evangelism is part of the core value here at the LS Revival Center. What do you do to uphold that value?
Our ministry starts with a passion for the lost. We feel that it's the call and ministry of every Christian to evangelize. As an evangelistic church, we encourage our congregation to pray that